Alright, welcome back. Here we go.
Did you see the message I sent? Yes, thank you.
Now, I was going to head back to the Exalted Plains and finish talking to the elves a bit and all that. I was thinking, I want to go unlock some new areas. I want to go see some new stuff. I want to go fight dragons and things like that. So, I was thinking, we did get the dragon in the Exalted Plains. Well, I know there's one over here in the Western Approach. I've seen him before. He's very cool. So I was, hey, why don't we go fight him or work our way towards that? Actually, quite a bit of stuff we can do before we can even get to that point. So, this is a really big map. Actually, I don't know if it's quite as big as the Hinterlands, but close.
Welcome to the Western Approach. We've sighted warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Well, it's good to know what I'm in for.
Sorry I don't have more for you. We intercepted a Vinatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
Alright. Well, I don't think she feels any place is right. Apparently every scouting report is something's not quite right here. Imagine that. Well, because maybe everything here is trying to kill us? Might have something to do with it. I don't know.
Inquisitor, I've something for you.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
Alright, so we'll get some requisitions started. I don't know if I can fill that yet. Alright, what we got here? These are the orders we intercepted, and something to do with White Claw Associates. Well, that... probably a new form of enemy, right? Notice this banana stick here. That's a schematic I found in by one of the camps. In some rocks, a little loot cache. Back in the Exalted Plains. I have no idea what it makes. Maybe it's some super weapon of mass destruction, but more likely it's just some humorous item. Kind of like the cheese wheel shield and the banana stick. And I can just imagine running around fighting with that. I can just picture it. Anyway, if one of you guys knows, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Along with the cheese wheel location, if anyone just has to have a cheese wheel shield. I personally am probably not going to go out of my way to look for that, but if I come across it, it'd be good for a laugh. Alright, so, as I do, run around looking for resources and things like that, but I'll try not to include me poking my nose into every corner, like I do. Try to just focus on some of the more exciting aspects, Fade Rifts and such. This Fade Rift was supposedly a lower level one, but it's actually kind of gave me the blues a little bit. Of course, it might have something to do with spawning 50 rays here on just the first wave. Okay, and not being able to jump on this rock and get out of the way of those fireballs. Okay, 600 points and apparently tripled up there, but that was a critical. Let's see. Maybe I can get a let's see what is my mighty blow pull here. 700 and 1,000. I guess it depends on where they're actually in the hitbox. Numbers seem to vary a bit, probably depending on whether they're where they're at in your swing. I wouldn't doubt that they're that detailed. Their attention to the combat numbers. So let's see. I've essentially doubled my damage, and then criticals are pulling off about 500%-ish. All total, once everything's all stacked and stuff. Putting up 1,000, and off something, my sword does basically a base 200. Basic attacks are well over double, and even better. So, alright, that's cool. At some point, I would like my just basics to be pulling off thousands regularly. Even if it's mostly criticals, I would like to be pulling off criticals more often than not. See how that works. I already have an idea how to build my equipment. The equipment's going to play a huge part in this build, too. But I mean, it's designed that way. I mean, it's kind of a kind of obvious there. Because once you have the ability to throw in all that masterwork stuff and all those high-tier items, that you can come up with something really, really catered to your character. I'm thinking critical damage first, critical chance second, or vice versa. I don't know. I'll take either or, really. I mean, pulling off higher criticals is cool, but pulling off more criticals is even better.
Bandits? But they would have taken the cards. I don't like this.
I just have to kind of weigh that out in my head and kind of just at least loosely look at the numbers and say, okay, if I can get higher criticals and let's say I'm pulling 1,000 criticals, that sounds good, but what if in 10 swings I only pull off 3 or 4 of them? Whereas I could pull off 8 or 9 criticals of, say, 750 or 800 points. Not quite as high, but a whole lot more, so the overall DPS would still be higher, you know, in the long run. And it's kind of how I'm looking at it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's available to my gear, what I can actually make for myself. I'm actually going to look into even making rogue gear for myself. Apparently, if you use Silverite, actually with rogue, it would be using, what is it? Loden something hide or something like that. There's a certain kind of leather you can use in rogue gear, and if you use it as the main primary resource in your crafting, then in that particular schematic, you know, that first diamond box, then apparently you can use it for any class. Like, you know, it's rogue armor, but I could wear it on my warrior. And likewise, I could take a warrior schematic and use Silverite, and my rogue could wear it.
Someone will answer for all these deaths.
I did cover that on a master crafting video, and I do have the ingredients that you can use on that listed in there. But anyway, I was thinking maybe making some rogue gear for my my Reaver, because that's essentially how I'm gonna be playing the class is you know, a DPS character, playing more of a rogue role than a warrior. Certainly not really a tank. I mean, I have some survivability, but that's just really so I can stay in the middle of it and do my thing.
Frederick of Seralt. Looks like he lost a shipment of supplies.
What happened here?
Nobody should be out here but Grey Wardens. Something's very wrong.
Now, wasn't Frederick of Seralt the name that was on that observation booth over there by the, what was his name? The Gamordan dragon, whatever, in the Exalted Plains? Okay, well, here he is again. He's lost a shipment or something, and it just unlocked a quest called Dragonology, which I believe brings about the ability to fight the dragon here. There's a dragon. I guess each map has their own dragon? I don't know. It's kind of the sense that I'm getting. We'll see. But anyway, I think that was the same name, so it's apparently some guy who studies dragons or something. I think it was his notes that we found there, and now we find something else of his. Alright, so we should have a lot of miners around here, and I don't see any. And then there's this dragon researcher guy, and whatever assistants he had. And I'm not seeing any of them either. Don't know. Figure out what's going on here eventually. I hate spiders. I really do. Nice. Alright, lots of resources in here. I'm going to be grabbing all these. There may even be one or two new kinds to unlock here. Dump all the bodies and relocate to Empris du Lion. I guess that's how you say that. Sorry for my murdering of French, but alright.
These poor bastards got lucky. They only died.
Okay, so we got more in the game here than what meets the eye. I guess we'll find all that out when we get to him pre-Duleon. I don't plan on going there next, actually. Kind of want to go check out the area where we're supposed to go meet Hawk and her warden friend. I would like to go there next. I've heard rumors of an amulet of power there for my character, and I wouldn't mind an extra ability point. That would be nice. Also go see a brand new area, a place where I've never been. I am seeing it'd be impossible to even come close to doing 75% of what this game has to offer without drastically over-leveling for some areas. Even if you do them in the I guess you could say suggested order or whatever. I've avoided XP already in a lot of... I've got XP right now that could get basically an entire level that I have kind of cached in the world so far that I've unlocked. Like all of the codexes at what is it? Valroyo, you know, the Orlesian capital place, whatever, where we went. I read basically nothing there when I was there. So all those are sitting there, and I think it's, geez, a couple dozen codexes. Not to mention any new stuff that may have unlocked since we were last there, because there'll be new merchants and new things to be had. And then some codexes still in the hinterlands, I believe. And then, let's see, a few at the Fallowmire. I think I got all the ones at the Forbidden Oasis while I was there. So I wouldn't have to go back and scour that area. But anyway, I still have quite a bit of XP just sitting on the table, kind of in my back pocket. And I already feel like I'm going to be well over-leveled for some areas as it is. And there's a lot of things I haven't done. Speaking of the Fallowmire, still have some things to do there. Hinterlands are pretty much cleared out. I think I have a few Fade Rifts left or whatever, but you know, overall we were pretty thorough there doing stuff. Yeah, this is a big map. It's kind of built like a donut. What I noticed, it's basically a huge circle area, but you essentially have to go in kind of a clockwise fashion because there are gates and stuff that block your way. He ran right into that foot, didn't he? Nice. Okay, now I'm watching what she's doing there, right? And she initiated that on her own. And I don't know, it's because I have challenge favorited that essentially her line of sight is maybe farther than normal, or I don't know. It doesn't really matter. All I know is it works. The way I have her set is, even though she's specifically following my targeting, she went and initiated that fight on her own. Maybe because those particular enemies were in range. You know, they registered on the minimap. And so she's going to go seek them out once we're already fighting anyway, because we had those jackals, you know, already aggroed. But still, she went and did that. I'm thinking if I'm playing a rogue, I can have her set to follow my targeting, and then I can have a couple mages set to follow her targeting instead of mine. And so they can keep barrier on her, basically shoot at whoever she's shooting at, right? And she'll essentially follow my lead up to a point, at least to draw those first enemies, and then you know, she may stay with that. But it'll essentially work similar to what I'm doing here. You know, I may not even have her follow my targeting. I may just have the mages follow her targeting. And then when she aggroes and draws everyone's attention, then, you know, being a rogue and keeping all the hate off of myself, once everyone's in there, I just need the mages to worry about keeping her on her feet. And that should pretty much keep the heat off me all the time. I mean, I'm just thinking ahead. I haven't actually really put that into practice yet, but it makes sense on paper. At least it sounds right. I don't know. We'll see. Honestly, it's all I can do just to finish this Let's Play before I go messing with that, because I really want to go play around with the rogue. I'm not tired of this by any means. I'm not even finished with this build. There's still some really cool things I want to do with this. There's a few passives, and essentially that's really it. Some key passives to bring into play with this over the next 4 or 5 levels that are going to really just
The trail leads
blow this build up. Either they are or they aren't. You know, if they don't, well, I'll be really disappointed, because, you know, logic and reasoning tells me that this can be pretty potent if everything plays right. It's going to kind of suck if it doesn't. But if it does, when I do the level 20 Berserker Reaver build, I think it'll be pretty effective. All right, my first quarry. I only need, what, 2 more of those to build something for my castle? Oh, okay, I'm going to need more than that. All right, I need some for apparently a courtyard at Skyhold, too. Okay. Well, that's cool. So I'm going to need about 4 or 5 more of these things. And for all I know, these come into play for other stuff, too. Like, not just Skyhold upgrades, but, you know, furnishings and things like that. Who knows? I might need quarries and logging stands and who knows what else.
Well, here are the missing owners of those carts.
Alright. Cool Spirit. I don't remember what that upgrades, but I remember needing that for something. Botanics, I think. Probably several things. But it's cool to be able to find that. Mosaic pieces. All the Archdemon pieces can be found in this one map, by the way. I did find them with another character. I don't remember if there's any more red lyrium deposits. I don't remember. Wow, this is just all kinds of stuff like this. I'll take every bit of it. Probably need to get up there for that. Alright, so we see the presence of red lyrium, we see mining stuff here. Sure, what's up with this? This? I think that's the first generator I've ever seen in Dragon Age. That's what it looks like, big generator. Interesting. Introducing technology, machines? Okay, well, I won't even delve off into that, because I'm just going to sound stupid. So, I'm just throwing it out there. Look like a generator to me, with wires attached and everything. Fits into no part of Dragon Age that I know anything about up to this point. Okay, where is the last one? Big open desert, and I have to find 1 rock. No. There's one of those huge gates that I was referring to. Essentially have to come full circle all the way back here. Take the long way around. Is it way? Oh, it is. It's way up here. Okay. Right next to me, actually. Might as well grab these while we're here, right? That's pretty cool. I'm thinking I'm going to want a fade-touched version of this lazarite here. Will not hurt my feelings if they give me one. I don't know what the effect would be, but certainly take it if it wants to give me one. Alright, let's see. How are we supposed to get to this one? Well, first we need to get rid of this Fade Rift. I thought of a solution to the leveling. This is just my thought. For what it's worth, maybe not much, but, you know, throw it out there. Okay, the enemies kind of cap out at a certain level in areas. Like, you know, be like 8 through 11. 11 through, say, 13 or 14 or something. You know, 12 through 15, that type of thing. Well, what if the enemies didn't cap, but the XP did? Like, if they want to keep it balanced to certain point where, you know, you can't hit, say, level 50. You know, that there's no real hard cap, because there's lots of, you know, random XP to be had, and enemies do eventually stop. Well, I would like the XP cap to stay in place, just as they have it, if that's what they're comfortable with, but not the actual, enemy level cap, in terms of, okay, if you need to give me, say, level 15 quality XP here, to where by level 16 or 17 essentially the enemies are giving you no XP return, right? Don't cap the enemies off at level 15. Let them keep going up. So if I come back in at level 26, that area is still relevant. Even if I'm not getting XP for it anymore, you know, it's at least still something. I'm not just literally running over everything. Now, it could be their thinking is to let you go ahead and experience God mode every once in a while, especially if you're having tough times in certain areas that are your level or a little higher, that you can come back, you know, to some areas where you're, you know, the big cheese. You can come in and just, you know, one-shot everything. And okay, that's fine, but me personally, I don't really need that. I don't need to come in and one-shot everything to feel like a badass. Actually, I'd like to come in and kick everything's ass that's my level or a higher level and is actually really hard, and kick its ass anyway. That's a sense of accomplishment. You know, kicking its ass because of a proper build, not because I'm leveled like, you know, 10 levels higher than whatever it is. So, just a thought. Just take the cap off the enemies and leave the cap on the XP. Keep the XP however you've got it. You know, if that's what, you know, the designers, you know, had in mind to balance the game, you know, and keep it, you know, competitive or whatever, but let the enemies keep going up as far as their, you know, the difficulty is concerned. Let them stay right there with me. Like, let's say, what would be a really good example? Alright, the hinterlands, everything pretty much camps out at, what, level 12, right? Well, let's say I come back at level 20, and in areas where enemies, you know, may respawn or whatever, or give me updated enemies, like, say, some Vinatori pop up, you know, right now, or, you know, something like that. Okay, let's say I come in at level 20, then let everything be, like, 18 through 21, alright? And so I can work my way up, and, you know, if I'm still there and I'm level 22, okay, I've leveled it a little bit. And if I leave, cool, but if I come back, let it be, you know, what, 20 through 24 or something, you know, that type of thing.
We'll have to find another way.
And, you know, even if I'm not getting returns for it, that's fine. Just a thought. This, you know, of course, that's, you know, whatever. One man's opinion, but, it'd be cool to me if they did something like that. Alright, let's see a few more campsites, and that one's way up there. Cool thing is I haven't gone too far from my first camp, so I can go back and re-up all my stuff. I really want to investigate that one ruin. It looked almost kind of like an oasis a little bit. Get this last shard up here and see if there's any other goodies. lot of the second tier material laying like everywhere, so that's a good sign. Kind of wondering what I'm going to find at the very highest level areas of the game. You know, the in-game areas. What kind of materials they'll be popping off pretty regular. Let's say I thought I might have already been up here once, but apparently not. Alright, are these the White Fang people that we read about in that one note? In the in that Vinatori's orders or whatever? They don't seem overly tough. Spider's tougher than they are. Nice. Alright, so we're picking up supplies from these guys. Is that a what you call it? A requisition item? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, see research supplies right there. Or maybe something I'm supposed to gather for somebody later. Whatever, I'll hang on to them, right? Alright, and then we have this. Like I say, it looks kind of like an oasis of sorts. A clump of trees. Alright, and that's where we'll go next. Go see what that fort has to offer, a ruin or a keep or whatever it is. Alright, thanks for watching. You want to subscribe? Click that button over my head. Want to catch the rest of my videos? Click those boxes on the left. Really appreciate you tuning in, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.